Sephiroth is a character who grabbed everybody's attention in pretty much every game he was in, be it the OG FF7, Crisis Core, or the new Rebirth, where he is even playable. The guy is a monster, but as the ultimate villain in Final Fantasy VII, when he finds out about the truth for his past, what if his mentality was stronger and he remained the hero? Well, we're going to find out if Sephiroth is able to save the planet. Can we beat Final Fantasy VII using only Sephiroth? And some points to note here. Firstly, Sephiroth is entirely uncontrollable. This means he can use magic or attacks on a whim. He has no limit break, and I can't change his gear or his materia. He also starts with his stats from the flashback at Calm, so he's level 50. This means the early game is gonna be a breeze, but considering his armor and materia combinations along with his base stats, I think this is gonna be impossible. Disc 1 will be easy enough, but I think things like carry armor and proud clod are going to be where this run ends. So let's do it, shall we? But first, we need some rules. Rule 1, Sephiroth only. I can, under no circumstances, make any action in battle with any character other than Sephiroth. And that's it. Look, Sephi is uncontrollable, and by not being allowed to use other characters, that eliminates anything and everything I can do. The game is entirely on autopilot, pretty much. And something else that's on autopilot is me chilling myself to you. Do you want to get even more content like top 5s, lore breakdowns, revamped and improved guides, among so much more? Then check out our coffee page where you can help support the channel. We have a big roadmap of goals for the future, but we need your help to get there. If that's not your thing though, then by all means check out our merch at primalstore.net and grab yourself an OnlyFans hoodie. And as a final reminder, Let's Plays and walkthrough content is no longer on this main channel. If that's content you want to watch, then make sure you subscribe to my Primal VOD channel. All links are down below, and while you're checking them out, join our Discord server. We have one of the best communities around. Also, follow me on Twitch and Twitter. Now, let's get back to the game, where we name the random blonde guy Coffee because subliminal messaging works. Hey, if McDonald's commercials are anything to go by anyway. And we name Barrett Subscribe because you should be clicking that button right now. Then we move on to the save point so I can save the game and mod Sephiroth into the party. For this, I use a program called Black Chocobo. And hey, Future Primal here, just letting you know, if you want to try this run, having Sephiroth in the party causes crashes. Like, a lot of crashes. The game really freaks out during flag trigger moments with him, and it's a coin flip for if it works or not. Just keep trying though, and you can eventually get past them. Then we have our first boss, God Scorpion, who gets taken out in one hit. Seriously, blink and you'll miss it. Sephi is really strong for this point of the game. So needless to say, we absolutely blow through everything in Midgar. An interesting note though is that Sephi actually has infinite MP. I'm guessing as a side effect of him being programmed to have it during the flashback sequence at Calm. This also means there's no point in me ever killing off my other characters, since he'll just use Life 2 on them anyway. Once we're out of Midgar, it's time for a Chocobo, which we can't really get. Sephiroth just murders everything on screen, including our little yellow friends. So we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way, by just crossing over the marsh. On the bright side though, now we can actually see how Sephiroth murders the Zalam. Well, minus the impaling it on a tree part, anyway. Something interesting happens with Bottom Swell though. Normally, the bubble mechanic he has functions as a prison, and characters inside of it can't attack. However, it doesn't actually stop Sephiroth from making his commands, which I find weird, but hey, at least it didn't make me reset by trapping him, right? And I have to admit, there is something a little funny in having him fight Genova on the cargo ship. His stupidly high defense still means he currently takes 0 damage though. Honestly, I'll be surprised if anything before Nibelheim can hurt him with his defense currently. I'm not looking forward to random battles now though, as this is where status effects like Minnie and Toad are going to start coming into play more and more often now that we're across the ocean. And while damage might not be an issue right now, instant death attacks or bad statuses very well could be, since I have no way to cleanse them in battle. So don't you just know a Temple of the Ancients is gonna be fun. In the Cave of the Gi, takeover surprisingly works on Sephi, which I wasn't expecting, but the Fire 2 cast from within him does 0 damage. Now I'm getting sus. I know his defense is sky high, over 180, and the magic defense bug was fixed a few years back, but still, this is weird. Surely he should have taken at least 1 point of damage by now. I'm wondering if there's some coding that basically always makes him take 0 damage, but I'm almost positive I've seen him take damage in the flashback at Calm. So we'll advance on more and see what happens later. I had hoped Materia Keeper would do some damage, but he didn't even manage to hit Sephiroth, attacking Barret first, then healing himself, and then finally dying. Like, seriously, is it too much to ask for somebody to attack Sephi? I do have to admit though, Palmer got over his fear of Sephiroth pretty easily, it seems. Remember what he was like when the president got stabbed? And now he gets slashed by Sephiroth and decides to stick his arse out to him. He's a brave, brave man. Maybe that's why he doesn't look both ways before getting run over by Truckcon in Sid's backyard. Why is there a truck in Sid's backyard? Like, these are questions we really need answers to, and hopefully we also see this cutscene in Rebirth, because that's going to be freaking hilarious. Next up though is the battle arena for the Keystone, and while it forces Cloud to do it solo, we don't have to win this. This means I don't need to do any action and instead just need to wait for the mobs to kill me before we can progress and move on to Temple of the Ancients. One of the places I'm dreading because of Toad, but also Demon Wall. I'm curious how Sephiroth will actually manage it given its defenses. At this point, I start experiencing some weirdness. Some fights, Sephiroth will be in the party. Sometimes the game crashes before I can start the fight, and sometimes it crashes in the fight. It took way too long and way too many attempts to figure out a workaround for this, other than just trying to brute force Lockheed. In the end, I set up a button macro to automate attempts for me overnight, and thankfully, one of them worked, and I got through Demon Wall. The sad news is, my PC decided it didn't want to record a 10-hour video, but at least I was able to show you Kate Sif dying, right? At this point, I have an idea. Vincent and Sephiroth shared the same coding in the party. So, if I go unlock Vincent, then maybe I can stop myself from getting any more of these issues. Funnily enough as well, Sephiroth doesn't cause lost number to do his split mechanic. But sadly, issues persist and get even worse. Once we get to Genova in Forgotten City, I'm afraid to say this happens over and over, and no matter what I do, I just can't fix the issue. Even the brute force method that I used on Demon Wall did not work here. Of course, this isn't exactly weird considering Sephiroth is just not meant to be playable. So the game freaks out and things get very unstable. So, I'm afraid to say, I'm going to cut my losses here. Can you complete Final Fantasy VII using only Sephiroth? No. The game is just way too broken to function properly with him in the party. I had a lot of crashes when doing the Seymour only run for FF10, but even that was nowhere near as bad as this. It's a shame for sure, but I had just ran out of workarounds to actually use. Coupled with the fact Sephiroth had unlimited MP and seemed to never take damage, I was really starting to question if this run should even be a thing at this point. But given the amount of time I've put into it with all of the crashes, seriously, don't underestimate how long it actually took me to get this far, okay? I was doing easily like 60 resets a day just because of all of the crashes. So I figured I'll make the video anyway. Now, if somebody can make and release a mod that is more than just a simple model swap, then I'll be sure to tackle this challenge again, since Sephiroth himself is fun, even if we can't control him, which some of you might question. How's it fun? Well, you have to think, it's kind of addicting just watching him slaughter everything, and it really does make you question how far can he go. But it's a question that just can't be answered right now. On the bright side though, hopefully in the future when Rebirth comes to PC, there might be a Sephiroth mod for that, which I would 100% check out for sure in a heartbeat. Still, I hope you guys have enjoyed my little pain session and are ready for more. My next little project is pain with a capital P that you've been waiting for a while now. Still, thanks for watching everybody, and I'll see you all in the next one.